KSL News at 4 starts now.
Thanks for joining us. Some federal COVID relief money that's been helping Utah schools is set to run dry this September.
News specialist Lindsay Ertz joining us live right now. Lindsay, this could have a big impact.
Yeah, Mike and Ashley. Now, this could have an impact on teachers in particular because a lot of this money has been going to help hire extra staff to help prop up learning loss experienced during the pandemic. Now, take, for example, in the Salt Lake School District, they use some of this money to hire additional behavioral specialists. In total, they have 8 this year, and next year they'll go down to 4. Now, the district says they're not laying anyone off. Each of these teachers knew that they were only signing a 1-year contract. Now, Salt Lake District also bought computers, and every kid in the school has been able to get their own, but starting after September, the district will have to figure out how to pay to repair those or get new ones. Now, it's the Utah State Board of Education that manages this money. Program specialist Jessica Kerr says she's hoping for a smooth landing when that September 30th deadline comes.
I get nervous, I guess, when I worry about trying to find those other funds of money. But our school districts have really done a great job of not being dependent on these funds. So when they end, it's not kind of a chaos.
Now, a lot of these districts have also used this money to prop up ventilation and HVAC systems. In total, Utah schools saw over $9 million come from 3 rounds of COVID relief funds. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to tell you why this money has been, it's been going directly into your kid's classroom and why some teachers say this money has been life-changing. For now, reporting live, I'm Lindsay Ertz. Guys, back to you.
All right, Lindsay, thank you.
Well, with ski season nearly over, UDOT is preparing
from the community.
Schools like this one set to lose a bunch of money when COVID relief funds run out. We'll tell you how your kid's classroom may be impacted straight ahead.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kevin. Utah school districts are about to lose a lot of money because that's been helping them out in these programs and with staffing as well. All of this since COVID. News specialist Lindsay Ertz joined us live right now. And Lindsay, where has this money been going?
Yeah, Mike, so technology and student mental health and school ventilation, really where a large chunk of these funds have gone, all to mitigate learning loss because of the pandemic. Now, let me give you an example here in the Salt Lake District of how this money was used. Every kid who needs a computer in the district now has one, but going forward, the district will have to figure out how to pay for repairs or pay for new ones if they need it. Now, another example, the Salt Lake District has 8 behavioral specialists. Next year, they'll only be able to afford 4. Now, these teachers won't get laid off. They'll just have to go back into a teaching pool, which they were expecting given their 1-year contracts. But it's an example of what the district now has to decide what to prioritize. This money has also made it directly into kids' classrooms through a program called Donors Choose. This allows teachers to request a donation for supplies or materials, something that'll directly help a project they're working on with a student. And so far, more than $12 million was spent there. Now, the Utah State Board of Education manages this money. Program specialist Jessica Kerr says she's hoping for a smooth landing when the money runs out.
I do worry just kind of about how can we make sure we're supporting our educators and students going forward, because it is, these LEAs have said this is life-changing money and the impacts of it, but they do recognize it was for a specific purpose and that it is coming to an end.
Now, schools, as I mentioned, also use this for better ventilation and HVAC system. That continues to provide benefits. CARE says that in the small rural district of San Pete, it's actually helped them have better air when there's wildfire smoke. Now, all told, over 3 rounds of Utah funding, Utah schools got $914 million. And again, only a small chunk of that left to spend before this September 30th deadline. Reporting live in Salt Lake City for Live at 5, I'm Lindsay Ertz. Back to you.
All right, Lindsay, thanks for breaking that down. Well, we are continuing our coverage of the child care.